Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me here this morning, this early. When I saw the presentation was going to be this early, I thought, who's going to show up for this? But thank you. So my name is Filip Karadzic, and I'm a PM on the PowerApps product team, and I work with controls. So if you have any controls issue, hopefully I should know what's going on there. So what I'm going to talk about today is just what's new in PowerApps controls, what we've been doing in the last few months, and what we are going to do in the next few months. So you just kind of get a lay of the land of what's coming. So first, I'm going to talk about some new canvas controls. And if you've been using PowerApps, some of these may not be so new to you. But just how many people here are familiar with PowerApps? Okay, and how many people have built apps which are used by companies? Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so I will start going. So one of the first thing I want to mention here is Rich Text Editor. This isn't really a new control because we've had this since last year in preview, but it is in GA now, and we've added some more features to this control. For those of you who don't know, Rich Text Editor is obviously used for people to format their own text and colors, fonts, and everything. And what it outputs is some HTML text. Now, the thing we get asked most about this control is, how can I do images? I want to work with images. I want to do this, that. The main reason why we called it Rich Text Editor is its primary purpose is for people to enter rich text, and it's not really an HTML editor. It's not really meant to format websites and things like that. People do try to push it into that direction, but often run into problems. However, there is a neat some neat features here like copy paste. You can highlight stuff from your web browser or Microsoft Word and just paste it here, and it will just be pasted there in the format that it was, and it should look fine. Now, we have some new features that people have been asking for, like setting default text style, and the big feature that we hope to ship by the end of the summer is a spell checker for this. A lot of people who type this, especially if the language they're using there isn't their first language, have requested this. So that's Rich Text Editor. Another control that we've shipped recently in the last couple of months is the Barcode Scanner. For those of you who've been using, we've had a barcode scanner previously, but it was really, really terrible. The technologies it used just weren't efficient. And the way we've implemented this barcode scanner is to hook into the native barcode scanning capabilities of the devices. And what we found there is that it gives us great performance. The caveat is that right now it's only supported on iOS and Android devices. However, looking at the metrics from the telemetry we collect, it seems even before with the old control, over 90% of barcode scanning use cases were done with mobile devices, and it makes sense because it's when you're out in the field or somewhere that you want to be scanning barcodes. So yeah, we've had great performance with it. It's reliable, and it can also scan QR codes or data matrix codes in a wide range of different barcodes. So this is something we now strongly recommend. We were kind of shy to recommend people from using our old barcode scanner. This one is, we were telling you, go for it. This feature isn't as glorious for most people, but what we're adding to controls is support for complex data types, which includes CDS, data sources and data types from CDS. What that means is that, I don't know if some of you have used our drop-down or radio or list box controls previously. what happened is that when you want to say which item was selected, it would give you the string of that item that was selected. And then if you needed to find out which record was that, you needed to look it up and so on and so forth. Well, we've kind of fixed that. So basically what these controls now, when you go to drop down .selected, it gives you the actual record, just like gallery does, just like other controls do and should do. And if you want to get the name, you can just do the dot notation and find the field of that selected item for what's there. So what else? Another control that we're working on and we're hoping to ship in July is support for stream video. It's kind of, we've been asked about this a lot, and for a good reason, is that right now if you want to use videos in your app, we don't have a really great solution. I mean, if you have a small video, you can embed it in the app, but if you have anything larger, you don't want to like put all those large files in the app. So unless you're familiar how to use Azure Media Services, which most people are not, our best solution was to tell people, put it on YouTube, and we did support that. But right now, people have been using Stream a lot. Microsoft, it's an Office 365 product, and it's integrated with it. So we are bringing support for that in the next month or so. What that means is that all stream videos are authenticated. So users need to have permission to view that video, just like any Office document you would have and so on. So the way we're implementing this is obviously we will just authenticate and log the user in, and this will implement single sign-on. So it should all happen seamlessly behind the scenes. If the user does have permission, they'll be able to view the stream video in their app. So that's moving on from the controls that we're building. There's also some exciting controls that work with AI. I'm not sure if you've been around the conference, you've probably heard about AI Builder, the new AI artificial intelligence product that we're bringing into the Power Platform group of products. And AI Builder can do quite a few things, but I want to focus here on the controls side of things. And if you go right now into, there's 3 controls which are in preview from the AI Builder team. And they're the business card reader, the form processor, and the object detector. So the business card reader doesn't require any AI training or anything. It's fairly simple. You point it at a business card, it scans it, and you can access it. It tries to figure out what's the name, what's the address, what's the telephone, and you should be able to just reference those in your app. The other 2 are for form processor and object detector. Form processor is for processing large textual files, while the object detector is for processing object images and detecting objects. So without getting too much into the AI Builder side of things, you need to train the model to recognize certain images. So basically, if you were doing the object detector to recognize, there was a person yesterday looking to detect what kind of a bug is being scanned so they can be sent to the right data and information about it. So you would have to train the model with like images of the bug and of different bugs and tell them, hey, this is this bug, this is this bug, this is this bug, and hopefully at some point when you can use the object detector control, point it to that model, and then within your app you should be able to just take a picture. It'll go off to the cloud, to the AI to consult its neural network and come back and say, hey, this is this bug. So this is AI Builder is a new product, something you can try. It's in preview as of yesterday, and there's these 3 new controls there. So something else I want to touch upon with controls. everything that that you build your apps from, all the little controls that we've been calling them, we're going to at some point soon stop calling them controls, and we're going to call them components. And this slide says everything is a component. We're going to have a lot more different types of components, and I'll show you the different types of components. But if you're an app maker, the reason why we're calling everything a component is this shouldn't matter to you. This should matter to us, how we build the components, what we do with them. All you have to think of a component as a control, as you've been thinking of a control right now. It's something I take, I drag onto the surface, set some properties, it does some things for me. Components can be built in different ways, but you don't need to worry about that. If you're making it, you're going to be using it, and you won't care about how it's built. So what are some of the different types of components? I'm not sure. This has been in preview for a couple of months, I think. Currently, this is something internally we're calling canvas components. There's, in your studio, in the Maker, there's a components menu. And what that allows you to do is to take a bunch of controls, or say you're building a header which you want to replicate on every screen of your app, or across your multiple apps. You can put all of those together in a component, group them, and then reuse that component in multiple apps, on multiple screens. And it's really, for up until this was available, people were asking us, oh, every time I build something, I have to redo it and start from scratch and build all these little things. For a while, we didn't even have copy and paste across the apps. So components, if you're not familiar with that, it's a way of, think of it as a way for a maker working in PowerApps Studio to build their own controls from the existing control pieces. So you can take like a few buttons, put them together, style them how you want, put some more functionality or formulas there, just group it in a control, and then you can reference it easily. And if you want to change something, you change it in the place where you've created it, and it can easily be updated in all the places where it is used. So those are canvas components. Another type of component that we are developing is for professional developers. And it's not really just a component, it's a way for professional developers to create controls which can be used in PowerApps. Now, why does that matter to you? I assume not many people here are professional developers, but it opens the realm of possibilities for what can be done in PowerApps. Developers can build controls, and there will be a control, hopefully a vibrant community building controls that can be used across PowerApps. So if you have a feature that you've been nagging us to, hey, this doesn't work, or like, when are you guys going to build this? Well, if it's not something that we're going to build, there's always the option of you building it with the code and then using it inside the app. So how this is going to materialize is that we're working on PCF, which is the PowerApps Component Framework. That's the framework for building controls, and it's going a single PCF control will be able to use. You can use it in model apps and in Canvas apps. So if you build a control once, you should be able to use it across all of PowerApps. And in fact, we're going to rebuild all of our controls to be on top of PCF, so that we're using the exact same technology that we're telling people to build these controls to use. So we expect there's a preview of this already out for model apps. There's a session, if you look up PCF or PowerApps Component Framework, there's already a session for that later today. But so this is already in preview. You can try it out for model apps. For Canvas app, we hope to have this in preview by September. And as you can see, this in this interface here, will have this import components where you can import Canvas components, which is the ones you make by yourself that I was showing you a couple of minutes ago in Canvas, or code components, which are the PCF Pro Developer components or controls. And there will be a menu like this here where you can choose which components, you can choose which ones are available to you, and then just add them to your app. And as I said, there's already starting, even though we announced this about a month ago, there's already community building different types of components for right now they're just used in model apps, different kinds of things, and we can see a list of different things people have built here from different teams, different companies. Just a wide range of things people are already trying to build, even though this is in preview. So, speaking of community, the last slide I just want to mention is our vibrant community, and just mention some more presentations from different companies, if you're interested, who have used PowerApps and made it really a success in their organization. So with that, I think that concludes my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Are you able to interact to find their phone number that is calling your phone through PowerApps?
No, I don't know. I think currently, that's interesting. No, you're not. Currently, we don't. PowerApps as an app running on your mobile phone doesn't have access to the phone records. We haven't thought about that.
If this PCF can build their own like attachment control I was talking about.
Yeah. You can build anything. Now, for attachments, that's a bit more complex control. You won't, when it comes in preview, we won't have all the pieces available for you to build it. But in a few months, we should bring it up to par that you should have all the, because it's in preview. Some of the more complex data interactions are still being ironed out and tested and figured out.
Is there going to be the ability to add on or modify
To modify.
Will there be ability to either add on features to one of the current components that you've developed, or are they going to be
So that's exactly what we're thinking of. We want to do something about that. Personally, I like the idea of putting everything in GitHub and making it available for people. But we're also, so another kind of project that we're working on is unifying all of our controls. I don't know if people, how many people here use the Dynamics 365 and model-driven apps? Okay, and how many people are purely on the PowerApps, like the Canvas apps side of things? Okay, so I don't know, if you've worked with both, you've noticed that controls are totally different. I mean, we do something to make the colors look similar, but it's like different controls underneath. So what we're trying to do right now is, another stream is like unification of those apps. We don't want to, when you're a maker and you come to Studio and the first thing you're asked, do you want to make a Canvas app or a model-driven app? And if you're new to this, you're like, oh, what's going on? What is this? I don't know what this is. So that whole thing is a bit confusing. We're trying to bridge the two worlds. So you have one app, and you can choose whether you want to make one part of it with model-driven techniques and one with Canvas techniques. So anyhow, to answer your question, we're going to unify the control. So there's one control which works on both model-driven and Canvas sides of things. And as we do that, we're going to have a strategy of either like putting it on GitHub or making it available for people to reuse in like simple atomic controls somehow that they can. Yeah. Any more questions?
Is there a timeline for what you just now described?
So we're going to start seeing some things by the end of the year. There's a concept of pages. I'm not sure when that will. We're hoping to have a preview by end of year. I'm not sure on those timelines, But basically, Pages will be look out for Pages. It's basically a way to create a page, which is somewhere between a screen and an app, and that you can take those pages, whether build pages on model-driven or on Canvas technology, but have multiple different pages inside a single app. We hope to start putting something out by the end of the year, but it'll probably, like, the full integration will still be happening into next year.
For now, we should continue with forms if you're doing C.
Yes.
When connecting to like SharePoint or SQL or anything, is there any pagination to support larger data sets inside of PowerApp?
The question is, if you're connecting to SharePoint, is it SharePoint or?
Either SharePoint or MS SQL. So the row limitation inside PowerApps for efficient display, is there any like pagination on the future so you can support larger data sets?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so probably the best. I don't know. There's no, I think, support for that pagination. I'm not sure. But are you able to use that? Are you trying to get all the data at once? Because there's ways to get with data with delegation, so you can only get the data that.
So I use the delegation to get subsets of the data so that I can manage it. But if there was like a native controller, then I wouldn't have to like do so much filtering.
Oh, for native, for PCF controls. Oh yeah, there will be support for that. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the PowerApps currently. Yeah, there will be. We plan to build that support. Any more questions, comments, feature requests?
Thanks a lot. What if Power BI control, Power BI tile control, even I choose refresh anytime soon?
We've started looking into that. So you want to refresh, fire a refresh from the app that refreshes the latest data store. So there's currently a way to do that by calling reset on the control. Now, what that does is that refreshes the rendering of the dashboard. But I assume you're asking to refresh the data source behind the PowerApps. Yeah, Power BI team is making that available, and yeah, we're hoping to get into that soon. Okay, thank you, everyone.